Okay, so this is going to be an instructional slash overview video of this brand new 2025 Laika Ecovip 4009DS. First of all, we're going to go around the external of the motorhome and then we will go into the habitation area. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to open the bonnet, and the two reasons for this is one, obviously so you know where the bonnet release catch is, and then two, I'll just show you the terminal points inside the engine bay in case you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason. As you can see, this vehicle does come with an awning. You'll get on the email a separate link how to set up and use the awning. So to open the bonnet, what you need to do is come around to the passenger side, and then if you open the passenger door, you'll see at the side of the dash the bonnet release catch. All you need to do, pull that down once and that will then release. Also, while we are in the cab area, we have blackout blinds on the driver and passenger door. All you need to do is pinch this tab, slide them across gently, and then they will meet at the end on a magnetic strip. Just be careful with these because they are, you just got to treat them like a baby. Because they are delicate and they are expensive. Also, we have got driver and passenger seats which do swivel. To swivel these seats, this grey tab here, if you pull this tab out, that will then release the mechanism to swivel the seat. And one last thing, in the cab area here at the side of the dash, there's a switch, a rocker switch, and what that does, it turns on the radio, so we can turn the radio on and this will run off the engine battery. One thing to keep in mind is you need to switch that on to use the radio when the engine is running, and you need to switch it on obviously for the reverse camera to come up. But the beauty of that, you can obviously switch it on when you are parked up at campsite, because your motorhome is being charged up, the leisure batteries and the vehicle battery is being charged up when you are plugged in at campsite on mains hookup. So make sure you switch that off when you are not using the radio. Otherwise, if you leave it on and park it up at night, you will come back to a flat battery. So as you can see, I've got access to the bonnet area. So if you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason, here we have your negative terminal point, and then down here under this black cover we have your positive terminal point. Also under the engine bay we have your screen wash fill, which is in front of the driver. So now we are going to count around the motorhome and we will start on the passenger side. So next to the passenger door, behind this cover here, we have your diesel fill and AdBlue fill. Your diesel fill, you just need to use the vehicle blade key to access this. Down below here, we have some belly storage locker. We've got your Truma boiler flue. So you just need to keep this clear at all times. Obviously when this is running on gas, this is where the fumes do exhaust from, and it does get quite hot here as well. Here we have your external shower point. So at the moment the shower hose is currently in the garage, but all this is a quick release, connect it on, and then for this to work obviously you need to turn on your habitation control panel for the 12 volt to use. Here we have your gas locker, so we've got two canisters you can fit in here, and then we have got your gas regulator at the top, which you just need to connect onto that 1/2 inch thread there with this orange hose. And then one thing I will highlight is on this hose here, it's a Truma hose, and basically when you connect this 3/4 thread to the gas tank and turn the gas on, you do need to purge it, so you need to press this black button in here and that will purge the gas through. It's just a safety feature in case it disconnects, it should shut off here as well. But like I say, you can fit 2 tanks in here on each side. Here we have your toilet cassette. So if we want to empty or clean the cassette, want to take it out, what we need to do is this orange tab here. You need to lift it up, pull the cassette towards you. That will then release. If we want to now empty the toilet cassette, what we need to do is this orange nozzle on the left, twist it out to the left, take this grey cap off, and then if we tilt the cassette up, if we put our thumb on the button at the top and hold the button down, that lets air into the top of the cassette, so all the fluids flow out a lot faster and easier. Also, you can open the blade here and clean internally as well with a hose pipe if needed. Once finished, all you need to do is align it back in place, slide it in, and what we need to do now is just make sure this orange tab is down secure, so then in transit your toilet cassette is not going to move. Here we have your power, so this is where you connect up to at campsite or at home if you're charging at home for your shore power. So this will obviously charge up your leisure batteries and give you 240 volt on your sockets. The next compartment is going to be your freshwater tank fill. All you need to do here, habitation key, take the cap off, hose pipe in, and when the water starts to come back out or hit the overflow pipe on the tank, which might be underneath the motorhome, once the water tank is full, then obviously you can lock this back up. We will get to the isolation valve which drains the fresh water tank, so obviously before you fill up you need to make sure the valve is closed, but that is all internal. Now we are on the garage side. The doors are on gas struts, and as you can see we've got large garage space. Down below we've got rails, so you've got tie down points. We've got brackets which are on each side. As you can see, that is the travel seat there, and the other one is just on the floor at the moment here, but they do live in the garage. Obviously if you don't need them, you can leave them at home to save a bit of weight. Got lots of storage in here. Light switch here for the garage area, and there is one on the other side. And then down here we've got some storage, and then your water pump is on that side there. Always remember to turn off the garage light, just so obviously you're not wasting leisure battery, but then two, you don't want to obviously burn out that light if it's always on. We have got obviously a reverse camera which is right at the top, and now we are on the driver's side. So here, this is a larger garage locker door. We've got your awning winder here. They'll have some clips in there, so if you want to clip it up anywhere you can do. Obviously your handbook, you've got Laika cab carpets, and then obviously you've got the bed ladder as well. Here again on this side you've got another light switch, and then here we have got your grey waste drain valve. So all you need to do is basically to use this on the habitation control panel, you need to turn on the power and the AUX auxiliary, and that will give power to this valve here. But this is electric. All you need to do is press and hold, and downwards should open the grey waste, and obviously it will pour directly out underneath. And then obviously to shut it, just press and hold, and that will then electrically shut the valve. As you can see here, we've got a 3-pin socket in the garage, so obviously if you've got bikes or anything you want to charge, you can use that in the garage. And we have got a heating vent here, so obviously the garage is heated as well. Here we have your external barbecue point. So all you need to get is a quick release connection which connects onto here underneath the rubber guide, and then you've got your tap at the back there. So that is obviously if you want to have barbecue outside. We've got ventilation bottom and top for the fridge freezer, so keep that clear at all times, just so obviously because when it's running on gas it's got air to circulate. And then the last compartment, you just got some more storage in here, which is the belly locker, which was on the other side. So now we are going to go into the habitation area. So as you can see, I currently got the habitation control panel on. I am going to switch it off. So press and hold at the top left and it will shut down like so. If we want to turn it back on, press and hold, and then it will power up. So we'll carry on the left hand side. So this button here, if you press it, it will give your leisure battery and your vehicle battery levels. The bottom left, you press it, it will give you your fresh water, and then on the right is your grey waste. How I know that is because of the nozzle at the bottom of the grey waste tank, and the fresh water is only one nozzle at the top. Programs, so you can just set some timers on this. And then on the right hand side, we've got your habitation lights. As you can see, they come on and off then. We've got your water pump. On your water pump, only turn the pump on when you've got water in the tank. The reason we say this is because obviously if it runs dry, you could potentially burn out that pump motor. Next one is your awning light, which is obviously above your porch, your habitation door. And then we've got AUX, which is your auxiliary, which is giving your USB sockets 12 volt. So yeah, it's always worth having the AUX on and the lights if you want, obviously lights. And it's just giving you some details on here, obviously internal temperature, external. And then when you do plug into mains hookup, it will indicate down here as well that you are connected to shore. On the right hand side here, we have a Truma heating control panel. On the email, you will get a separate link just on this control panel. Just to the left of it though, that is your thermostat. So it's not a button, that is which is catching the ambient air to see obviously what temperature it is to knock off the heating when you've set it. You've got 12 volt socket, you've got a type C and USB socket up there. We have got a TV bracket. If you want to use this, push this down, you need 2 hands for this, releases it and then it swivels out a little bit. We've got your light switches and then your electric step. On your light switches, they are dimmable as well. We've got storage cupboards above, just under obviously the drop down bed. On the drop down bed, it's controlled by a panel up here. And that is what the bed ladder in the garage is for, which is, you can store it underneath here as well or on here. One thing we do recommend is obviously take the pillows off. You can leave the blanket on. It's just because the pillows sometimes do blow the fuses because of the friction when it's trying to go up. And as you can see, you've got reading lights at the top as well. And as you can see here, this does sit above the cooker. So you just need to make sure you got that clear because that cabinet will hit something. Under this bench seat here, so that is one travel seat, which obviously you need to make up with the frame, which slides in. Same on the left hand side, that makes up there as well. But underneath this seat, if you go into this little cupboard here, at the back, you might not be able to see the best, but at the back there is your 12 volt fuses. So that is all your fuses on the 12 volt system, which the 12 volt system is what is running off your leisure battery. Down under this seat here, that is where your Truma boiler is. And the only reason you need to get down here, I'm going to try and show you the best as possible. There you go. So down there, there's a black valve. And I'm going to lift this seat up, remove the cushions, just to give me access to the black valve. Basically what that valve is, it's called a frost protect valve. And that is to shut the the valve for the boiler, so when you are filling up, you can fill up the boiler with water, and that is how you drain the water out of the boiler. It's called a frost protect valve. Basically, when it hits 3 degrees or less, it automatically triggers, and that is going to drain all the water out of the boiler to protect the boilers from freezing. So I'm going to remove that cushion now. So here we have your frost protect valve. So that is to drain or close for your boiler. So currently this valve is in the open position. How I know this is, 1, the diamond valve on top is in line, and then 2, this blue button below is sticking out. To close this valve, all you need to do is twist the valve on top like so, push the blue button in. So now that is completely closed. So when we fill up our boiler with water, when we're priming our system, the water is not going to pour out of the motorhome. If we want to drain this for winter or through summer when we're not using it, all you need to do, twist the valve on top, the button will pop out, and then the water will drain from the boiler. If you are somewhere really cold and you're trying to shut this and it doesn't shut, get some heat in the habitation area, because once this goes above 3 degrees with the heat in the habitation area, because obviously you are adventuring, then you will be able to close the valve. Here we have obviously your oven and grill, which is controlled on the right hand side. You've got your igniter, which will only work when the 12-volt system is on. You've got a little heat shield here which you can pull out as well so it doesn't burn the knobs. And then obviously we've got a 3-ring gas burner. One safety advice we do recommend is obviously this glass cover, is to leave the glass cover up once after using the stove, just to let the stove cool down. The temperature difference in the glass and obviously the stove, you could potentially shatter the glass. Here we have obviously your sink. You've got a deep sink as well. And then we've got a pull-out tap, so you could actually use this for an external shower if you want. Put that through the window, but obviously you've got the external point directly outside there as well. And then what we're going to do now is prime our motorhome with water. So the first thing we need to do is shut all the valves. I've not got to the other drain valves yet, but we need to shut all the valves in the motorhome. We need to shut. The first one is your fresh water valve, the next one is the grey waste which is in the garage, and then the third one is going to be your boiler frost protect valve. Once they are all closed, we can fill up the freshwater tank with water, fill the freshwater tank completely full. Once that is full, we will come to our control panel up here, turn the control panel on, and then we will turn our pump on. I'm not going to do that now because it's dry, but turn the pump on. And then once the pump is on, we will come to the tap, twist it to the cold side, open it up. That's going to vent all the air out of the pipe work on the cold side. Once you get a steady flow of water, twist it to the hot side. And then again, this is going to vent all the air through the pipe work on the hot side, but then from the boiler. So what this is going to do is take water from the fresh water tank into the boiler, and then from your boiler through the tap. Once you get a steady flow of water on the hot side, shut the tap and your water system is fully primed, ready to use. The only thing you will need to do is your boiler is not instant hot water, you do have to boil it. Which boiling the water is used on the Truma control panel, which you will get a separate video on the email. Here we have your fridge freezer, so you can open this on both sides if needed. If you're in bed, obviously easy access on that side to get your snacks out. Same with your freezer as well. And this is a Dometic 3-way fridge. Turn it on, press and hold the knob in the middle, and then it will light up. And then we've got a few settings on here, so we push the knob in. First one, we're on the temperature, so we can select our desired temperature. A lot of people turn it on full full power at first, just to get the fridge and freezer down to temperature. But some people then move it halfway after a few hours once they've filled it up, so things don't start to freeze. The next one, we've got our source. So we've got auto, gas, battery symbol is when the engine's running, plug socket is when we're on mains hookup. So if you leave it on auto, it will automatically select the best source it has available. Or if we're off grid and we want to manually select it, we can select battery. So the battery symbol is when the engine's running. It should automatically recognise the engine's running and move over. So that's taking a charge from the engine battery, because the alternator charges the ledge battery up. Gas, so when we're off grid, we need to turn our gas cylinders on because we're parked up somewhere off grid and no mains hookup. And then the last one, if we're at campsite, we've got plug socket, so that is when you've got physical show power. But like I say, leave it on auto, it will automatically select. If you have got it on auto, once you turn the engine off, it will try and go to gas. So if you are parked up and going for a walk, make sure you turn your gas cylinders on so the fridge stays cool. So you push this in to go along the settings, and then you've got light, you've got a button, noise, which you can turn off, which is currently off, fan speed, so you can do a few different things on here as well. To turn it off, press and hold the knob again, hold it down, and it will then shut down. Above we have got large space, cupboard space up here, and there's a 3-pin socket in the top left. Here we have got your shower cubicle, and then your light switch for the cubicle is at the top up here. In the bathroom area, in the toilet area, sorry, so obviously we've got your toilet here. If you want to use this toilet, what you need to do is use this blade here. You need to slide it across, and what that's doing is opening your cassette. Once you've finished, slide it back to shut the cassette, so then no smells come back up. Above here we've got the blue button in the middle, which is your flush, so make sure your 12-volt system is on, so then obviously the pump will use fresh water to swill the bowl. And then on the left hand side here, that is an indicator, and that will light up orange/red when the toilet cassette is full. We have got your light switch in here as well. Your tap, which you don't need to prime that, you just need to prime one tap. Any excess air, once you open this tap, will just vent out. And then underneath this sink here, we have your mains hookup breaker. So when you plug in externally to campsite, if something trips, this is where you need to check. Most of the time it is the campsite that trips, because they do reduce the power they give you, but it could obviously be a fault in the motorhome as well. Sometimes you might need to change onto a different connection, or sometimes it could be actually the mains hookup lead which has gone faulty. Here we've got obviously your twin single beds. We've got storage underneath here, which is on a drawer pull out, and on the left hand side we have lots more storage and hanging storage as well in there. The bottom step slides out, just so obviously it gives you easier steps to get up into bed. There is light switches right at the back corner, so once you're in bed obviously you can switch it off, and then there is a reading light, and there is on that little reading light a USB socket as well, so obviously if you want to charge any devices. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is underneath this floor here we have your freshwater tank. So the reason you will need to get to this part is that is what you need to close or open. If you're opening, obviously you're draining the freshwater tank. If you're closing, then obviously you're wanting to fill up the freshwater tank. So you have got a sticker underneath on the underside of the cover, which obviously highlights how that knob works. If you want to travel with 20 litres, once you've closed it complete, fill the freshwater tank up. If you want to travel with 20 litres, open it a quarter turn and that will drain the tank all the way down to a roughly 20 litres. If you want to drain the tank completely empty, open it 2 times anti-clockwise, and that will obviously drain all the water out of the freshwater tank. So it's just this black valve here which is opening and closing the freshwater tank. So that is the instructional / overview video complete of this brand new 25 Laika Ecovip 4009DS. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below, or you can always drop us an email or give us a call.